Hello everyone. This video will be about what I think is going on in the Scream music video in relation to the other Dreamcatcher videos as well as in relation to my own theory which you can watch on my channel. Let's start with the obvious plot elements. From our story teaser released by the company, we see that there is this magical tree that seems to be full of power. There are also two cloaked figures. One in white and one in black. This woman starts taking the power of the tree and it becomes corrupt. She turns old and evil. The girls, presumably Dreamcatcher, are sad. Now in the music video, this story is still carried through. We see a pretty tree and are told that the good things were taken from it one day. We also see a live version of the white and black figures. It's clear that there is a tree full of life, that it is taken from the tree by Ga-eun, and everyone is sad. At first I had a few theories. I thought maybe this was just the aftermath of Yoo-eun betraying everyone and that the tree just signified the loss of magic at the death of Jae-yoon and the despair it caused. And the mask signified Yoo-eun faking her kindness. Or maybe this was a separate story altogether. I even thought maybe Han-dong was the evil lady as her character is masked due to her absence and only 6 of Dreamcatcher are in the story teaser. Maybe Han-dong being absent was turned into a plot point. However, in the video it's Ga-eun who destroys the tree. But why? I believe that Ga-eun is playing dual roles in this story and that the girl we see taking the power from the tree is actually the spider lady that possessed Yoo-eun. Yes, I think this whole music video is the backstory of the spider. Let me explain. There are first a few things to remember. First, let's recall the story so far. Where we left off was after Yoo-eun has betrayed Jae-yoon by killing her and leaving the rest of the girls outcasted. She then took the throne, ready to start her reign of evil. We know she has been possessed by the evil of the spider lady in You and I. Second, I believe the girls play 2 sets of roles in this video. They play the people of the past who enjoyed the power of the tree before it was taken, shown in the story teaser. I will call them a coven because they sort of seem like witches. And they play the roles that they've been all along. The video starts with Jae-yoon and Yoo-eun in a wasteland. My first thought is that this is the wreckage from Yoo-eun's takeover of the throne. We are reminded of the bond they once had. One thing I noticed is that their hair colors was swapped. They also don't seem to act anything like their old characters in Scream. I believe this means that Jae-yoon is now actually Yoo-eun's character and Yoo-eun is Jae-yoon's. Because of this switch, I'm going to call Jae-yoon's old character the Queen and Yoo-eun's old character the Betrayer. It is just easier that way. I don't believe this is the first scene chronologically though. I believe the scene with Swa is. The sky is this dark magic color like in the end of Deja Vu, which is why I believe this is occurring directly afterwards. I believe the betrayer heads to this tree and sees it as it was from the past, as if being given a vision from long ago. Swa is following her. We see Jae-yoon standing in front of the tree that was once fully of light and watching it lose its power. She runs to see what has happened. She enters the tree and goes into this hallway. At first, we don't know what she saw in the hallway. I believe she is tapping into the spider's past and seeing how she became the demon she is today. We also see Swa in the hall. She seems to have followed the betrayer but is chased by a dark force as she isn't supposed to be there. The same smoke that chased them in You and I and took over the betrayer in Deja Vu. A mark of the spider demon. Due to her presence in the tree, Swa is also shown the past of the spider. She screams as it takes hold of her. Saeyeon is also in the forest outside of the tree and finds it filled with dark magic. I think this magic helps her connect to Swa. As the darkness shows Swa the past, Saeyeon sees it too. That's why we see zoom-ins of both of their eyes that seem to be like visions. This vision travels from the forest to the hallways until showing a girl standing in a much prettier version of this hallway. When the tree was still full of life. The girl is Ga-eun. She does her rap all while moving around a mask. This is the disguise she is hiding behind. She is in black and white, another indication that this is the past. I believe we are now in the story that we saw in the teaser. They make it very clear that Ga-eun takes the power from the tree. She turns the whole hallways dark and destroys the tree. Everyone points at her, her mask of innocence is now stained with blood and she's dropped the mask completely. It's really clear. I believe this is what Jiayu saw in the beginning. Basically the spider demon is showing the betrayer all about the source of the spider power and its darkness. I believe the cloaked white and black figures are the spider lady now as well as herself from the past before she took the power and became corrupt. The only reason I may doubt she is the spider lady is because there were no spider themed things in the entire video. If MIT were a backstory of the spider that we've seen since 2017, you'd think they'd use some spider references. We then see the Coven people who stand before the destroyed tree. In dismay, they leave it. The girls we know, the characters they have been since the first music video, wake up in the wreckage of the recently betrayed kingdom, outside of this tree. Note that it's only Sayon, non-spider Gaon and Dami. Jiayu is the betrayer and is ready to fulfill whatever evil the spider demon has ready for her. The queen seems to be trapped in some sort of limbo after her death. Swa went after the betrayer only to be attacked by the demon. We see her with a sword throughout the video, so it's possible she's preparing to destroy the spider lady once and for all. We see a shot of the queen having a burst of magic near the end. Perhaps an indication that she's becoming strong enough to return. So, in the end, we're left with an enlightened evil betrayer, a vengeful Swa, and a possibly returning queen. We also have indication that Gaon may play the spider lady role again in the future. Some of the last scenes we see are just repeats of the story. Swa sees the past. Gaon is the evil of the past. Jiayu is the evil of the present. Due to the fact that the dead tree is the last thing we see, despite happening long ago, I presume Swa will try to bring the tree back to its former glory. Hence the to be continued text on the screen. Although the story seemed over long ago, they will finally be able to save the tree. There you go. That's my main theory about Scream. I originally thought it wasn't very plot heavy, but after overanalyzing it, I realized it may be. Who knows if I'm right, because this seems pretty complex, but I hope I am, because that's a good plot. You can check out my video of the full Dreamcatcher story theory here.